Hey now, hey now, I go on day. Johnny Mofino, Hanande, Johnny Mofinande. Hey now, I go.
Why? What's happening? Man, what is that boy doing, man? Out here making a fool of himself, bro. I don't know y'all call that dancing or not where y'all from, but that ain't how you second line, you heard me? Man, enough of this foolishness, bro. I want to see my people. Where the Zulus at, you heard me? This here, man, I got somebody drawers, you know what I mean? And hopefully I smell them, so you know they clean, but they're clean, you know what I mean? And you know, I got some panties or whatever you want to call them. Oh, hey, what's happening, y'all? I'm sorry, man, but this Yakamein, man, this Yakamin's on fire, man, and I don't want to do a shameless little plug though, but Purple Stove by the bridge on Esplanade, you know what it is. Yeah, Yakamein, nice, man. I'm gonna make a mess, man. But look, so last Tuesday was Mardi Gras, right? And this was the first time I've been to New Orleans on a Mardi Gras day in a while. You know what I'm saying? Because living in Michigan, it was always hard for me to come down during Mardi Gras season because it's like the flights and stuff and just timing with my job and everything. It was always hard for me. It was always hard for me to come home for Mardi Gras, right? So a lot of times I would always miss it, or I would come at the beginning because, you know, for those of y'all who don't know, Mardi Gras is actually a season. You know, it's like 2-3 weeks long, and it preludes the Catholic holiday of Ash Wednesday, right? In the Catholic season of Lent. That's what Mardi Gras really is. It's a prelude to Lent, right? Lent usually starts on Ash Wednesday, and it goes all the way to Good Friday, the Friday before Easter, right? And, you know, through Lent, Catholics have their thing, what they do through Lent. I'm not going to go through all that. You can look that up for yourself. But Mardi Gras, which accumulates on Fat Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday, is all it is about a celebration. It's kind of like getting your last hoorah before Lent, because for Lent, you're supposed to give up stuff and you know, stop doing certain things. So it comes from the Catholic faith where, you know, the people would, you know, party the day before, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why it ends on Fat Tuesday, because the people would like party like rock stars on Tuesday, and then they go get their ashes on Wednesday and repent for all the stuff they did the day before or the weeks before, whatever, you know what I mean? But so this year, Mardi Gras fell during Black History Month, which it usually falls in either mid-February or early March, you know, because it depends when Easter is, right? So this year it fell during Black History Month, which to me was only fitting because there's a part of Mardi Gras that has a huge history when it comes to like black folks, right? And like people who come down for Mardi Gras, right? They see the Indians and stuff like that. And for me, that's the part of Mardi Gras I miss the most. You know, not being able to come down here for Mardi Gras, I always miss like certain parts of it. And for me, the part I miss the most were the parades, seeing the different bands and stuff, you know, which is always like, you know, I love that, man. I love to see the bands, you know, growing up, going back and forth between Michigan and New Orleans, you know, I still got that New Orleans in me, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you grew up seeing things like, you know, just growing up as a kid, going down the street to St. Aug, watching a band practice. Then you knew, like, when parade seasons were coming up, they were, like, you know, try to hide their routines put stuff on the fence so you couldn't see the bands practicing. You could hear them, but you couldn't see them because they didn't want you to steal their steps and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, I remember, as kids going to do that. And I remember for Mardi Gras, man, my two fondest Mardi Gras that I have is one of my cousin Michael, who's no longer with us. I remember the first time my mama let me go down to Mardi Gras with him, where it's just us two, you know what I mean? He took me down to Mardi Gras. I remember me and him walking from the 7th Ward where I grew up at, walking from the 7th downtown by the Lafitte Project to, catch the parade there. Then from the Lafitte, we walked down the canal to catch the Rex parade and the truck parades and stuff like that. And then my other fond memory of Mardi Gras was like in 95, I think. Yeah, 95 with my cousin John, my cousin Big John. What up, Big John? From Michigan. He had never been to New Orleans before. So he finally got a chance to come down here. And I remember me and him came in 95 for Mardi Gras. And that was crazy because, that was his first one. And for me, that was my first time seeing Mardi Gras through the eyes of someone who never seen it before. And I never forget that, man. That was crazy, man. Some wild stuff happened. And, what happens in Mardi Gras stays in Mardi Gras. You know what I'm saying? But it just was, like, memorable. So those two are, like, my two most memorable Mardi Gras. And for me, being in Michigan for the last 20 years and always coming home, missing Mardi Gras mostly, because it'd be like, I might catch it one year, then I'll go 3 or 4 years and not catch it. And, especially like a Mardi Gras day. A lot of times I would leave right before the Mardi Gras day because it was cheaper for me to fly out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So this was, this being my first Mardi Gras day in like 10 years or maybe even longer than that, was like classic, man. I love the Zulus, man. I love seeing the Zulus. And the thing I love the most, though, is seeing the Indians, man. Man, and for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, that goes back to growing up. Because growing up in the 7th, we used to have Super Sunday at Hunters Field. I remember going down to Super Sunday at Hunters Field, man, and you see all the Indians there. Mardi Gras, the Indians come out, man, and the Mardi Gras Indians, man. Some people, they call them Mardi Gras Indians or New Orleans Indians. You got to look that up, man. There's so much history to them. And like I was sharing with somebody at work about the Mardi Gras Indians is that I knew the song like Iko on Day, right? I knew that song, Giacomo, whatever you want to call it. I knew like the words to that song before I even knew there was a song, you know what I mean? Because growing up, man, you just knew the culture. It's so much embedded into New Orleans culture, man. New Orleans black culture, the Indians are so much a part of it where their seance, their little cadence, their little cadence and chants and stuff that they say. You would say, I remember being a shorty, man, playing football at Hardin Park, playing football for Hardin Park, played football and basketball, even tried baseball for Hardin Park in the 7th Ward. Shout out to Hardin Park, man, legendary. 7th Ward, what up? But anyway, playing football, man, at Hardin Park. I remember we be riding in the back of the truck going to in the 8th Ward where we used to play our little football games, or even going uptown to play, or downtown in the 9th Ward, man, play the different parks or whatever. I remember we be on the back of the trucks, beating on the trucks, oonane na, oonane na, oonane na, and not even realizing, saying oonane and stuff like that in the different chants, you know what I mean? Hey, pocket, way, was Indian chants, you know what I'm saying? From the Indian songs, like Iko. Iko's like an Indian fight song, you know what I mean? Like when you look up the words to Iko, and you learn about Indian culture, it's an Indian song, you know what I'm saying? My flag boy and your flag boy was sitting by the fire, and I don't want to mess it up, so I ain't gonna say the rest to it, you know what I mean? But but you have to look up, man. You gotta look up the lyrics to Iko, man. Iko on Day, you know what I mean? Talk about hey now, Iko on Day. Giacomo Fina, Unane, Iko on Day. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that resonates with me, man, because it just takes me back to my childhood, man. It seemed like on Mardi Gras Day, how on the 7th, like in the area of the 7th where I'm from, you would always see the Indians out in the streets and stuff, and then you got to see the Indians, they do their little battles and stuff, you know what I mean? And this Mardi Gras was uptown, right? I went and caught the parade uptown by the St. Charles area, and I actually got to see these two Indians, one group was called the Blue Flames, I think they said it was. One tribe was the Blue Flame. And I seen them out there, and they was preparing for a battle. And unfortunately, I kind of didn't stay long enough because where I was parked at, I seen them passing out tickets, and I was a little too slow, so they still gave me a ticket, which I should have once I got the ticket. I should have just stayed where I was at and watched the battle. But I did get to see the Indians and stuff, take some pictures of them and stuff like that. And I seen the little short, the little kids out there with they tribal outfit on, man. It was just, man, it was beautiful, man. And that's what I miss about Mardi Gras, man. I miss how it's so New Orleans, man. I miss how New Orleans is just so deep rooted with culture, man, and African culture, so intertwined in the New Orleans culture where you don't know where the French culture stops and the African culture begins. You know what I'm saying? Going all the way back to the Zulu, the Zulu balls or the Creole balls and all these different balls they would have. Even going back to slavery times, you got Congo Square. The Africans would party at Congo Square. I mean, they would be slaves and free slaves partying together at Congo Square. It was just crazy, man. And and that's New Orleans, though. New Orleans is a party city, man. And like I said, the slaves, man, the owners partied so much they even let their slaves get a day to party. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Other slaves around the country are like, man, how come we don't get a day, man? They give us a Sunday, man. We might just better go to church and they have to come back to the plantation. These slaves get a whole day. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I love, man. So it was kind of fitting to me that Mardi Gras fell this year during Black History Month, man. And I loved it, man. Being out there watching the Zulu, man, seeing the bands come through. Oh, man. I seen, St. Aug Band. I seen them. I seen Jackson State Band. There was a bunch of bands, man. Shaw. Shoot, man. McDonald 35. I think I even seen their band. And there was a bunch I seen. Culver. Man, Booker T. Washington. I ain't know Booker T. even had a band anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, man, I loved it. Being home for Mardi Gras Day, man, I loved it. I even got stuck in traffic. I even loved the part about that, watching the stupid people that had made me get stuck in traffic. It was just a good day to be back, man. It was a good day to be home. I live in Baton Rouge, so I'm like not in New Orleans, but it's only an hour drive, so I go to New Orleans all the time. Like yesterday, got me some of the Jockey Bean. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But it's still not the same. Baton Rouge and New Orleans is two different cities, man. So for me, just being there on Mardi Gras Day was kind of like brought me back to my childhood, man. But, so if you ever get a chance, man, you got to catch a Mardi Gras. And then not only that, I added something new to my bucket list. I want to ride a float. I want to do a float on Mardi Gras Day and throw some bees. If I could, I'll get on the Zulu float. I know people said that they cost money. I don't know how much it is. I'm sure it's not cheap. But you know what, though? That's on my bucket list. So I figure I save a few dollars and I'll spend that money to hop on that float, throw some bees. Throw me some, mister! Throw some bees. Try not to bust nobody upside the head with a coconut. You feel me? Oh, and I can't forget. Look, I got some bees, man. And I'm going to keep it real with you. This is what I love about New Orleans, man. I didn't even catch these here. I ran into a dude and he had a whole bunch of stuff, man. And he was like, and I was giving away stuff, man. This is what I love about New Orleans, man. And this is where it's just a proven thing, man, where you get the folks and you get the people be good to you. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm just, I'm catching stuff. I only had like a certain amount of bees I was trying to catch. I wasn't out there trying to, catch a bunch of bees. I was just out there enjoying it. So a lot of times, me being tall, people throwing stuff. And most of the time, I was defending myself. They was throwing stuff for your head and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm just like catching stuff that so hit me in the face and stuff. And most of the little kids, man, I had little kids around me, man, just kind of like, oh, he giving away stuff, So I'll be catching cups, catching whatever, catching hula hoops and stuff. And I just give it to the little kids that was around me, you feel me? And dude, when I told me and dude was just chop it up real minute, just on some, some, hey, how you doing type stuff, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, man, I only came out here, man. I just was looking for a couple Zulu bees. And if I could, get one of them nice little, big bees, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, you ain't getting nothing? I said, nah, man, not the big bees. I got my Zulu bead. I just, I ain't able to get the big one yet. Dude reached in his bag and gave these to me. You feel me? That's love, right? And I actually caught these here. See, look at this here. Man, I got somebody drawers, you know what I mean? And hopefully I smelled them, so they clean, but they're clean, you know what I mean? And, I got some panties or whatever you want to call them. See the little panties? I got some panties, you dig? And you know, that's Mardi Gras though. You know, they tied them to the bees, you heard me? You know, so it was fun, you know what I mean? Everybody's laughing, they see me with the little panties. I walk around with them around my neck, you dig, but it's all good. But that's been the episode, man. You know, Black History Month, Mardi Gras, made to go together because the history is so intertwined, you know what I'm saying? You don't know where one stops and the other begins, you heard me? So if you ever get a chance, man, you got to come down for Mardi Gras. And if you ever come down for Mardi Gras, you got to see the New Orleans Indians, the Mardi Gras Indians. You got to see the Indians, man. You got to see them feathers. You got to see the beauty, man. You got to see, man, it just, I ain't going to, I'm done talking about it, man. It got me in my feelings, you heard me? Y'all be easy, bro. Take care.